Welcome back for Saturday Morning Coffee, the first one of quarter two. I have started my new job that I've been talking about the last couple of weeks, and I've been really excited about. But I've found that I have exceedingly less time for idle thoughts at this new job, and therefore it has become pretty clear after 1 week that I'll need to get some more intentional time set aside to reflect on the topics for this week, because usually I'm like, I'll just, whenever my idle thoughts take over, I'll just pay attention to whatever I'm like gravitating towards, thinking about, wanting to research, yada yada yada, and I turn that into the week's topics. That is not so easily done. My God, I have a busy schedule, so I'm gonna have to start being a little bit more careful about using intentional time to think. But to start us off, just a quick note. I wanted to say I won that argument on TikTok, by the way, with that recruiter that I mentioned 2 weeks ago regarding one particular interview question, like something along the lines of, is there anything on my resume that makes you concerned? He never responded to my last comment that I had talked about on the pod about how people's just because they're not the person hiring you for your next job does not mean that their opinion is not important, or that you couldn't take it and then evaluate it and consider their responses and adjust how you talk about experiences in the future, blah blah blah. See my prior episode. Just wanted you to know he never responded, so it wasn't even a battle of attrition. He just straight gave up because he had no response to my second message. So go me, I guess. Okay, so this is another very early episode for me. It is currently 4 a.m. at the time of this recording, and I am hoping that the coffee I am drinking kicks in real quick. So the reason it is 4 a.m. at the time of this recording is that I am going to be driving down for a benefit dinner for a nonprofit, which sounds great, right? It's the alumni dinner for my fraternity, and what it is the annual celebration of the philanthropic efforts of the undergraduates. They ride a tandem bicycle. It's a 300-mile journey, and there's a couple hills and one canyon in which it is not safe to drive or to ride the bike in, because it is completely blind corners. So those parts, the bike is thrown in the back of the truck and driven, just, so they don't die. And, this has been going on for 63 years now. And, it's a philanthropic effort to raise money for a designated charity each year. Raised a lot of money, and then we try to use this dinner to raise just a tiny bit more money from alumni, both for, that philanthropy or that service organization we choose each year, and then also to raise money for other efforts that we are pioneering ourselves. So anyways, I am driving down because I am the only one that could get suckered into organizing the entire event, and therefore I'm the only one that has organized it at all, and now I have to drive my 6 hours to go and manage this event and then drive right back. So one year I drove down there, went to the dinner, and then drove back in the same continuous drive. Like, I got down there an hour before dinner started and immediately left. Oh God, that was even as a college student, that was a terrible idea. That's 12 hours of driving, right? So I will not be doing the full 12 hours in one day. Just driving down, spending the night, come back up. But we are so off topic for what I wanted to say here. I wanted to talk about like volunteering and community service. So I have been driving down for this dinner for 10 years now. I think there's only been 2 years that I didn't go. The year I lived in Texas, and the year of COVID when it was canceled. And in other ways, I have also been volunteering for various organizations for consistently for 10 years, I want to say. So in college, outside of fraternal obligations, I was doing a minimum of 100 hours of community service each semester. So I usually tacked in 200 to 225 community service hours per semester. And that was done through a big portion of that was a youth mentorship program. And so I volunteered to mentor youth in the area who needed, I'm trying to say this delicately, who just needed someone to be there for them and to be semi-consistent in their life, And so once a week, I pulled a kid out of class and we spent an hour playing basketball or walking around. And my God, it was the most challenging challenging service project, or I don't want to call them a project. It was the most challenging effort. We'll just say most challenging effort I have ever made. That kid made it hard because he had a very troubled past and just did not want to open up and constantly pushed me away. Never believed in the 3 years I was coming to hang out with him. Not once after 3 years did he ever believe that I was going to come back the next week. So of course it did not help when I had to move to Texas to, move on with my life. But other than that, I've done like various service projects and like helping clean up a homeless shelter and volunteering at museums and stuff. And as I've gotten further away from college, it's only gotten harder to find time to commit to this. And community service has really become, or really always been, an important value to me. I remember even just being in junior high and like having that drive to participate in the community and find ways to like give back, even though I did not have the time or the money to do so. Like I knew even as a kid that was something that was important to me and that I valued probably above anything else. And it sucks sometimes as an adult that there is so little time and opportunity to do so. It's something I really miss. I think one of the big reasons I miss college is that freedom to actually be able to go and participate in community service projects and have so much time that could be devoted to them, but it's just not something that is accessible. I think that's a good word. It's not so accessible as an adult with a job and, a hobby whatsoever. But it's still important to me and I want to get back to it in some form. But I think the kind of volunteer work would have to be more grassroots that I do. Like maintaining a hyper localized community, like river cleanups, or like trail maintenance. That would be something that like would really speak to me. It's not really affecting deep-rooted change in the problem, but rather it's just addressing the symptoms. And that doesn't sound great, but it's still work that needs to be done, I feel like, and it's still work that has value. There are plenty of others out there fighting the good fight and addressing the causes, the deep-rooted change that needs to happen. But I just don't have it in me, and I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I think it kind of is what it is. So anyways, that's it. That's kind of like the main thing that I wanted to put up at the top of this episode, just talking about community service, given that I am driving down and it's an early episode for this community organization efforts that I am leaving to go do today. So side thought here, but I've had a bowl of mac and cheese at least every other day because of some upcoming release of YouTube episodes. And hard switch here. I know, whiplash. My apologies, but I had no way of transitioning this. Anyways, I don't think I can handle any more mac and cheese for a while. Holy shit. Thankfully, there's that rotation I talked about from my prior episode, because I might go crazy if I had to make a batch and eat mac and cheese every single week for any amount of time, because some of these macs are definitely outrageous enough that I am alone in eating them, and therefore I have 3-4 bowls of mac and cheese by myself for each batch, and I think I might go insane if I have to keep eating these. In fact, yesterday I'm looking in the fridge for lunch, and there are 2 massive leftover bowls of mac and cheese, and then the dinner from the night before. And I wanted to throw up at looking at my options for lunch, and I was like, okay, I guess it's mac and cheese again. I yeah, I never thought that mac and cheese would annoy me this much, but here I am. I can't stand to look at a bowl of mac and cheese. Fun fact: I think there's mac and cheese at dinner tonight at this philanthropy dinner. So that's fun. Love that. Okay, so smoother transition here, possibly. Along with food, kind of talking with Evan, if we hit a full-on recession here in the United States, which is looking increasingly more likely, you can catch me bringing my childhood struggle meals as a series. About to pop off with cheap meals to beat inflation. In all seriousness, the impending recession has me concerned about the cost of ingredients to make some of the series, especially the street food from around the world. Like, doing the Indiana Jones series was already really hard, and I saw that price increase already from when I started the series to the ending of that series, because all of these ingredients are ingredients not made in the United States. And obviously, if I am doing food from around the world, guess what? A lot of that food is not made in the United States. So I am just going to have to pay close attention to the effects of tariffs and the effects of a recession. And if both of those combine into a big ugly mess, we might have to abandon Global Food Wednesdays for a while, because this cooking channel has been unbelievably expensive. All the groceries for it are bought by me independently. Even if like they're food that Faith and I are eating together, they don't go on the shared grocery bill. I'm keeping them separate because I just don't think it's entirely fair to ask her to help me pay for some of this food, especially because I know some of it she would never eat, right? So I don't ask her to help. I don't ask to put it on the shared grocery meal unless it's like, I need a cup of milk. Well, we're going to drink that milk anyways, right? So in that unique specific situation, it'll be on the shared grocery bill. But for the most part, it's not. And so, yeah, Canvas Apron has already cost me more money than I would like to admit, and I know how much it is exactly because I keep track of all of the receipts, and I have a spreadsheet going. So we're gonna keep an eye on it, and I might have to make some changes to how we handle that channel, depending on how grocery prices keep going up. So, speaking of tariffs and everything, I really wish I had managed to secure those extra bits of tech that I wanted before the tariffs popped off. I know that I managed to get a nicer camera and some various microphones that I knew I was going to need, but there's still some more tech that I was trying to buy here in the next month or so to really get a whole studio set up for me, and I don't think I'll be able to do that now. Anyways, let's have enough doom and gloom. Let's end on something I'm working up. I'm cooking. This is gonna be a full topic sometime, or maybe a bit, or what. I For some reason my brain's not working and I can't think of the term. Um, but it's gonna be a session, a section. The word is so close right there. It's gonna drive me crazy. I know driving down to Boise, I'm gonna go, "That's the word," and I'm gonna bang my hand on the steering wheel, going, "Obviously." I don't know. It's gonna drive me crazy. It's just a bit in a showbiz in a show like this. I don't know. Anyways, I'm working on this. I don't know. It's like how do I explain this? It's like things that I don't know, but I wish I did, and probably should by now in this point in my life. I have 3 for today, and then later when it's a full on topic, I'll have plenty more. First up, shaving and styling my facial hair. I don't know how you're supposed to do that properly. My mom taught me most of those things. She taught me how to pee outdoors. When I was a little kid, she taught me how to pee on a tree, and on other manly things. And but when it comes to shaving, obviously, mom didn't know how to do that, and I don't think I really asked. I just started doing it. To be totally fair to her. So it's not something I think my mom helped me out with, at least not that I remember. And I always thought I kind of had a handle on it. And then I went to a barber shop one time, and I told them, "Oh, I do a 3 here, a 4 there, and a 5 there. I do, a bicket up here, blah, blah, blah." And I came out and I'm like, "Holy shit." I told him a 3, 4, and a 5, but this would be like a 1, 2, and a 3 on if I did it my way. So I don't know if that was that drastic of a change between my clippers and their clippers, or if I'm just shaving wrong, because I think they were going against the grain when they were styling my facial hair, and I go with the grain. So I don't know if I'm supposed to go with or against the grain when shaving. I honestly can't remember ever being taught this. So I don't know. And I could have, you're going to notice that every single one of these things in this topic is something that would take 30 seconds to Google, but I never have. And I have no excuse for that. But it's just things through life that I'm just going to keep on doing and may or may not ever Google. And I have no excuse one way or the other. So the second thing is, what the hell is a PGA on a film? It drives me crazy every time because I'm a person who likes watching credits. And in the credits, it's like PGA. And I'm like, okay, what the hell is that? Everything else is super clear, obvious what they do. But a PGA is not one. And considering my, how do I say it? My bucket list item is to make a film. You think I would spend more time Googling and like researching all the different roles that go on behind scenes to make a film. But here we are. I don't know what a PGA is. I know what Professional Golf Association is. Probably not that. I've seen PGA in other places. And it's definitely not referring to the same thing as PGA in a film. So I don't know what that is. And it would literally, again, take me less than 30 seconds. But I don't think I'm going to. I think I want to go through life the old-fashioned way, and I want to find out from someone else. But I've also never brought it up in conversation, so that's not exactly helpful, is it? Bit of a conundrum. Lastly, I don't remember how to mix colors anymore for painting. I think red and blue make purple, and outside of that, I ain't got nothing. Purple and green? I don't know. How about green and red? Green and blue? I don't know. Green and blue probably make some kind of like tealish thing, or aquamarine. I don't know. Obviously I knew this as a young child. And I love to paint. I've made many painting videos on YouTube. I don't know how to print. I don't know how to properly mix colors or what color to actually fully expect. There's some intuitive aspect to it. You can kind of guess like, oh, wow, you can see this color and I can see that color and I can kind of see how they're going to mix together. I can anticipate it. But if you were to put down a quiz in front of me and you were to say red plus green equals blank and blue plus, I don't know, pink equals blank. Psh, nah, no. I'm going to fail that one. Periwinkle, I guess. I don't know. It's not something I know how to do anymore. I don't know when that knowledge kind of got lost. Maybe when I was a teenager and I thought arts and crafts were for girls and I didn't want nothing to do with it. Maybe at that point, that's when I forgot how to mix colors and what they actually turn into. Who knows? And I figured I should probably know some basics about mixing colors, considering the painting videos I've done in the past. But no, I don't. Can't help you. I can identify the primary colors, but also I'm pretty sure the primary colors comes under like disagreement about what counts as a primary color and what doesn't. Red, blue, green, right? But some people say yellow is a primary color. I think depending on the color theory, I think that's what it is, or certain theories. So I wouldn't even be able to pass that test for sure. Let alone saying all the secondary colors. Nope, because you got to know how to mix colors, right? You got to know what those primary colors become secondary colors, yada, 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 right? What can you do? All right. I have another song recommendation this week. It is from a genre I find myself going back to, though not nearly enough throughout my life. This recommendation of the week is Man with the Hex by the Atomic Fireballs. The way I would throw down in a Prohibition era club if this song came on, goddamn, okay? This song will make you shuffle, boogie, and just have a great time. And you hear it and you're immediately like, oh yeah, that's smooth. All right, just trust me on this one. Go and listen to the song and let me know what you think about it. All right, that's gonna be it. I need to hit the road. Thanks so much for joining me for another Saturday Morning Coffee. Have a great one.